Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? Happy Indiemas. I am so excited for this video because we're going to be testing out some free indie eyeshadow palettes, and yes, you heard me right, I got these palettes for free. Klarity Kosmetics is an indie brand that I tried a really long time ago, and I honestly did not love what I had tried, so I haven't purchased any palettes since. But you guys know, hopefully you know, I run the Indie Makeup Spotlight Instagram account, and I follow all the indie brands on there, and I saw that Klarity had posted for Black Friday that they had a palette on their website. It was free, it was hidden, you had to look for it, and all you had to do was pay for shipping. That palette ended up being their Safari palette, and it's a really beautiful, colorful color story with the most punny names. So I was already super excited. I was like, I'm gonna get to try Klarity again. It was literally so affordable. I did post it. I posted the deal on the Indie Makeup Spotlight. So if you're not following me on there, you are definitely missing out. But the very next day they said, okay, we sold out of all our Safari palettes. They're gone, but we decided to put another palette on our website for free. Again, just pay shipping. You have to look for it. And it was the Evil Mermaid palette, and I just could not resist getting another palette. Like, come on, it's literally the most beautiful color story. Look at this bad boy. Like, the blues, the greens, like, it looks so, so pretty. So I figured that in today's video, we can go through, do live swatches of everything. We can do an eye look. I feel like I'm already like leaning towards Evil Mermaid for my eye look because this palette, like the color story is just speaking to me. And then I can give you my thoughts at the end because Klarity Kosmetics has come out with so many beautiful color stories, and I've kind of like stopped myself from buying them just because I was like, oh, I didn't really love their formula. Like, it wasn't exactly for me. But they've definitely been on my mind, and I'm like, let me just give it another chance. Like, you never know. It's been a long time. They could be amazing. And they were literally free. Like, come on. I genuinely cannot get over how good all these names are. So the very first shade in the Safari palette is Don't Be a Cheetah, which looks to be just like a really soft kind of golden white shade, and it definitely does have a little bit of a thicker texture to it. We have Can You Stop Lying, which is a really pretty, like, nice turquoise matte. We've got Pray About It, as in P-R-E-Y, which is a metallic red. Again, it's just a little bit of like a thicker texture. Those three shades together are actually very, very Christmassy. Oh, that looks really pretty though. Next, we have the shade Unbearable, which is a really nice, just true neutral brown matte. That one felt pretty creamy to the touch. We have Don't Worry, Owl Wait, like Owl Wait, which is a like pretty vibrant orange metallic. And then we've got Irrelevant, not irrelevant, irrelevant, which is a gray matte. Ooh, that brown looks so nice. That too. Okay, that's super, super smooth. Next, we have the shade Toucan, Play That Game, which this one does look like a duochrome. It's like a really pretty coral base with a strong green flip. It's a little bit drier to the touch, not super creamy, but the shift is very, very vibrant. We've got Giraffing Me Crazy, which is kind of like an orchid purple matte. And then Heard It Through the Ape Vine, which is a very thick, like blackened turquoisey shade, but it just like it, I don't even know how to describe the shimmers perfectly. They just feel very dense. Okay. That shade did not pick up as well in the swatch. I feel like the coral looks so much more vibrant on my finger. Let me just build it up a little, huh? Okay, so it definitely is showing up a little bit softer there. All right. So there is the Safari palette. I'm not obsessed with the color story on this one. I would say overall everything looks really pretty. I'm not quite sure why that shade, it just looks like it's swatching so much less vibrant how it picked up on my skin here. So I'm hoping that that will look more like this on the eyes. Okay, so now for the Evil Mermaid palette, the very first shade is called Beaches Be Crazy, which I love. It looks like a muted kind of gray, sagey shade. Super, super pretty. We've got Get Off My Tail, which that shimmer felt a little bit less thick, and it's just like a really pretty turquoise. We've got Aquaholic, which is a deeper turquoise matte. Just looks like this. I would even call that one maybe more of a teal. Ooh, that is gorgeous. Okay. Those two mattes feel slightly more sheer than the previous palette. Next we have the shade Murky Waters, which looks to be like a really thick, shimmery cobalt blue kind of shift with a indigo base. Super, super pretty mixture of blue and purple. We've got Shell Shocked, which is another like matte, but for some reason I feel like these mattes are just not picking up as well. Like the mattes in the previous palette were more intense. These feel like a little bit harder pressed in the pan. And then we've got Seize the Day, which is another purple blue mixture, but I would say that this one is a little bit more purple. Like the shift makes them look similar, but the base is slightly different. See that matte is not picking up at all. Oh goodness, okay. That shimmer is really pretty. Next we have the shade Conspiracy, which is a purple, and it is so pigmented. Like that is super beautiful, soft to the touch. Definitely feels way better than the other mattes we've swatched so far. There's I Don't Fiend So, which is a very, very thick metallic, but it's like this purpley, like gunmetal-y shade. Super pretty, super grungy. Like those two together would be stunning. And then we've got Washed Ashore, which is a soft blue, and that one feels really pigmented as well. So I don't know what happened with these three mattes. It's kind of disappointing because the color story is so beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. That is so pretty. I have mixed feelings about this one because I love the color story, but the first three mattes did not swatch good at all. Hopefully they'll pick up better with a brush. And I do feel like these two shades are a little bit similar, but these last three are just perfection. Like this purple is so sparkly, so grungy. I'm obsessed. So yes, a little bittersweet right now. So I think I'm gonna start off with the shade Beaches Be Crazy because I just need to know how that's gonna apply on my lid. I'm actually gonna pick that up on the new Cinch Beauty E06, which if you're curious, I did just post a full video talking about all the new Cinch Beauty brushes, but I'm just gonna pick up some of Beaches Be Crazy. It looks to be picking up decently well on the brush. Okay, that's better. That's way better than how I thought it was gonna look, but it's so strange because all of their mattes looked so good swatched except for these ones. But if it works on the eyes, then I'm perfectly happy. That is what matters, but it was a little confusing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of throw that through my crease. It actually looks very pigmented. Like I feel like it looks darker than I thought it was going to. So maybe I'll go in with just a little tiny bit of this like light blue Washed Ashore, just the tiniest amount, and I'm gonna blend that like right above it. Okay, I'm honestly relieved because this color story is stunning. I need to follow my heart and go for these purple shades now. Like I can't help myself. I'm gonna go in with the Cinch E02 and the Conspiracy shade and just start putting that in my outer V. I literally love this tone of purple so much. So I'm always happy to see it in a palette. I feel like it definitely looks pigmented, but it's blending out and it's not like hard to blend at all. Sometimes when you're going in with uber dark, uber pigmented shades, it can be overwhelming. But I feel like that just blended so easily, so beautifully, and the color stayed exactly where I wanted it to. I am being careful to tap off my brush each time because the shades do seem a little bit more powdery, but I'm just gonna take the E07 from Singe and connect the lower lash line to what's happening in the crease. Then maybe what else should we put on our lower lash line? I'm kind of torn between doing one of these shimmers and doing one of these mattes. Maybe let's do Shell Shocked just because that's another one that did not swatch very well. You can just see how that picks up. Okay, I feel like it's actually not picking up with this brush that well. Like I'm like doing this and I don't know if you guys can see, like it's just the tiniest little amount coming off. Like I'm able to make it work and kind of build it up, but it just feels like there's a little bit of inconsistencies with the mattes. Like there's not just one formula that you can expect, which for me, I feel like is pretty important when it comes to like indie palettes, is having a formula that you can expect and that you can rely upon, because there's no refunds, there's no returns, you can't try anything in person. So for me, it's like once I try a brand, then like hopefully I have a good enough sense about their products to decide whether I'll purchase more from them in the future or not. So I don't love to see something like this where like some mattes are doing the absolute most, like blending beautifully, looking amazing, and then others aren't. Wipe off that E07 and I'm gonna go into the shade Get Off My Tail. Just gonna use that really lightly as my inner corner shade. Super pretty. Just using a tiny little bit of that. And it is very blue. It's not super highlighting on me, so maybe I'll go into the Safari palette, because you know you can kind of see like the little line, it's not like blending seamlessly. I'm gonna take a touch of the shade Don't Be a Cheetah and just kind of put that on top just to make it a little bit brighter. So now for what I'm the most excited about, we're gonna go into I Don't Fiend So, because it is so pretty. Like this is definitely my favorite shade, this and Conspiracy. So I'm just gonna tap that onto my lid. I'm like tapping off my finger. I'm a little nervous because it is very chunky and it's not like, it's not super creamy, which I feel like the more creamy shadows are, sometimes it helps with fallout. And I did do my face first, so I'm just trying to be careful. But there we have it. It is a very grungy, very pretty. It might be a little smoky for me because honestly, I really just need to go on a Target run and I'm feeling like this is very, very intense. But let me see. Maybe I'll just grab a little bit more of Get Off My Tail and just pop that on the front. Oh yeah. Oh, that's so pretty mixed together. Just to add a little more highlight, because personally, like I love a grunge moment, but for my eye shape, I just feel like the most flattering thing is to have lighter mid-tone, deeper, and not to bring my deep shades in all the way towards my inner corner. So something like just adding a little highlighting shade can really, really help sometimes. Just makes me feel better. Like it just, I feel like people get annoyed because I always do my makeup the same way. But I'm like, if this is what makes me feel confident, if this is what makes me feel like, ooh, I love my makeup, like I feel so good in this, then like, why are your panties in a wad? I kind of got on a little tangent there, but I just looked and I have so much fallout and I was being extremely careful. Like I was tapping off my finger like every single time before going in. Okay, it's not wiping away. It kind of just, it looks like I'm really tired. Just gonna try and go in with a little tiny bit of powder just to see if I can make it look a little bit better. But yeah, definitely way too much fallout for me. So let's finish off this look. I'm gonna go in with the Glossier Cloud Paint in the shade Wisp. I don't know why, I just feel like I need some blush like ASAP. I'm gonna do blush before I do my mascara, which is like something I never do. I feel like I just need a little something here. And I feel like the purple tones definitely go along with the Mermaid vibes. I'm gonna go into the Maybelline Falsies Surreal Mascara. Just throwing that on real quick. And then I think I'm just gonna go into a little bit of the e.l.f. lip oil in the shade Red Delicious, which I know it looks like it's a bright red, but it's literally the softest pink color. It's a total catfish. Alrighty, y'all, so let's talk about my overall thoughts because I definitely have some feelings. I think that this was a super fun video to do, and I'm grateful that Klarity decided to do something fun for Black Friday, and lots of people were able to get to try their brand and at a really, really affordable price. Like I said, literally just the shipping. But overall, I don't know that my opinions have changed. I love the way the eye look looks. I love their color stories. I feel like they do super cute names and concepts. I'm all here for it, but I feel like the formulas are just not necessarily my personal preference. And I'm not saying that they're bad. Like I said, I really love the eye look, but just keeping in mind that some of the mattes were amazing and some of them were really flat. And like I said, one of them I was able to get picked up with the brush, the other I wasn't. And the shimmers are just not my personal preference. They're really, really thick. I just prefer shimmers that are more like creamy, metallic, like slick to the touch. I just feel like those are easier to work with. They have less fallout. They look so beautiful. I'm trying to think through all of the like shimmer formulas that I've got going in my mind. And there are some that I have, like from Sydney Grace, for example. Some of their shimmers are a little bit thicker, but they don't feel quite as chunky as the Klarity shimmers. And then the ones that I go for the most are like Adept shimmers, Glaminatrix, Odin's Eye. Like those are more my vibes. Hopefully this video was helpful for y'all. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow for another day of Indiemas. Bye.